Squiz Kids acknowledges the traditional owners of the lands on which we podcast, the Turrbal and Kombumerri people.
Squiz Kids!
It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Hello and welcome to Squiz Kids Today, your fresh take on what's happening in the world around you. I'm Bryce Corbett. It's Thursday, December 12. In Squiz Kids Today, Taylor Swift takes a final bow. Santa Tracker is switched on. PNG gets its footy team and cow fart fake news. That's what's making news, kids style.
The Lowdown.
More than 10 million fans, an estimated $3 billion in ticket sales, 149 concerts in 50 cities across 19 countries over a period of 18 months. That's the final wrap of the biggest concert tour series the world has ever seen, after Taylor Swift finally hung up her guitar earlier this week and let the curtain fall on her all-conquering Eras World Tour. Playing her 149th concert in Vancouver, Canada, Tay-Tay told the crowd, plus the millions watching hundreds of live streams on social media, that the tour had been the thrill of her life so far, and she thanked fans all over the world who had joined her on the friendship bracelet festooned journey. Some 4 million Aussies alone queued to get tickets to her Australian shows, each one lasting more than 3 hours long. And of all the 149 shows she performed, her concert at the MCG in Melbourne set a record, clocking up the largest crowd that she'd performed before, with 96,000 Swifties packing into the arena. Now, all of those extraordinary numbers add up to the biggest selling concert tour in the history of ever, beating such crowd-pleasing acts as Coldplay, Ed Sheeran, Elton John and U2. So, what's next for the biggest selling, most streamed artist of 2024? Well, there's talk of a movie, a documentary about the Eras Tour, the Taylor version re-release of her albums Reputation and Taylor Swift, and even a musical. But for now, it's time for a well-earned rest and Christmas with her family. Merry Christmas, Tay-Tay.
Spin the globe.
Each day we give the world globe a spin and find a news story from wherever it stops. And today we've landed in North America, where the US Air Force has switched on its Santa Tracker, ready for when the big fella from the North Pole makes his annual sweep around the world on Christmas Eve. NORAD stands for North American Aerospace Defense Command, and it's an official US military outfit whose normal job is to monitor the airspace above the United States to keep an eye out for any aircraft that is not supposed to be there. It has some of the most advanced radar and tracking systems in the world, and every year it uses those systems to track the progress of Santa's sleigh as it takes off from the North Pole on Christmas Eve and makes its way around the world. I've stuck a link to the NORAD Santa Tracker in today's episode notes. You're welcome. And on the subject of Santa, a huge thank you to everyone who sent in a question for Santa Claus for our upcoming Squiz Kids Q&A with Santa himself. We had a flood of excellent questions from all over the country, hundreds of them in fact. And while we won't be able to put every single question to Santa, each one of you has gone into the draw to win a family pass to Movie World on the Gold Coast, which we'll announce in the podcast. Plus, we've sent all of your names to the North Pole to make sure that you're all put on the nice and not the naughty list. The Santa Claus Q&A will drop on this podcast feed on Christmas Eve, which is to say Monday, December 23. So, make sure you've subscribed to the Squiz Kids podcast in your favourite podcasting app, and you won't miss a thing.
Sport time!
Stand by for a big announcement in the rugby league world today, as the NRL will officially unveil plans to welcome a new team into the competition from Papua New Guinea. Yes, that's right, from 2028, you can expect your favourite NRL team to fly up to PNG a couple of times each season to play against what will be only the second international franchise to ever join the NRL. after the Auckland Warriors joined in 1995. Up the Waz! Rugby league is huge in Papua New Guinea, where it's considered the national sport. And many players from PNG are already in the NRL comp, including Reece Martin, Justin Olam and Xavier Coates, who all have PNG heritage. Game on!
News hounds.
Every Thursday, Squizzy the Newshound sticks his snout into Squiz Kids HQ to report back on fishy things he's sniffed out on the internet. And today, his nose is twitching because of the bad smell that's been coming off one particular piece of disinformation that's doing the rounds on social media. A piece of disinformation about cow farts. No wonder his nose is twitching. Phew-wee! Studies have shown that the methane that's produced when cows burp and fart contributes to climate change. So, clever scientists developed a supplement to feed cows which makes them less gassy. It's all been tested and proven to be safe for humans who drink milk or eat meat, but there are nevertheless memes on social media promoted by fringe politicians suggesting that it's all part of a grand conspiracy, which is a fancy word for saying a secret plot. And as we know, when people read stuff on social media and believe it without stopping, thinking, and checking, as Squizzy always tells us to do, it can create a misinformation snowball, with people sharing stuff that's not true without checking first. Scientists and dairy farmers and supermarkets have had to come out this week to tell everybody to calm the farm. And yes, that pun was intended. And for any teachers out there looking for a good end-of-term activity for their classrooms, why not join the more than 3,500 primary school classrooms around the country who have signed up to do Newshounds, our free digital literacy program, teaching kids to recognise misinformation when they come across it online. Visit squizkids.com.au to sign up today. Can you hear that? It's the sound of summer. And it's the sound of Squiz Kids going into summer holiday content mode as of next week, serving up a whole bunch of cool kids content to keep you entertained over the long Christmas holiday break. This week is our final week of the Daily News podcast, but we're not leaving you in the lurch. There will be shortcuts every week, including an excellent one next Tuesday on the science of Santa. There'll be bumper school holiday kids versus adult quizzes every Friday, brain teasers to keep the cogs turning, special holiday-themed episodes of Squiz the World, and not forgetting our first ever Squiz Kids Q&A with Santa Claus himself. Just make sure you're subscribed to Squiz Kids in your favourite podcasting app, and you won't miss a thing.
Time for the quiz.
This is the part of the podcast where you get to test how well you've been listening. Question number 1. In which city in Canada did Taylor Swift perform her final concert of the Eras Tour this week? Did you say Vancouver? You would be correct. Question number 2. Name the gas in cow burps and cow farts that contributes to global warming. That's right, it's methane. Question number 3. What year will a Papua New Guinea team be part of the NRL? Well done if you had your listening ears on and you said 2028.
Shout outs.
It's Thursday, December 12. Today is Gingerbread House Day. Have you built and decorated your gingerbread house for Christmas yet? It's also only, get this, 13 sleeps until Christmas morning. Woohoo! And today, of course, is a special day for these Squiz Kids celebrating a birthday today. Eddie from Yass, Billy from Middle Harbour, Lily from West Albury, Harvey from Canberra, Michaela from Brighton East, Lucinda from Mundaring, Evie from Brunswick West, Beau from Newcastle, Kirsten from Forest Lake, and Sophia from Hyatt. And classroom shout-outs today go to Class 4 White with Ms Napier at St Anthony's of Padua School in Picton, Class 5-6 with Ms Davey at St Patrick's Primary School in Walker, and Class 6T with Miss Tietzel at Jimboomba State School. Don't forget, if you celebrate a birthday over the Christmas break, send us your birthday shout-out by tomorrow, and we'll make sure to include you and your birthday shout-out in the weekly quizzes that will be going out each Friday of the school holidays. Well, that's all we have time for. Thanks for listening to Squiz Kids today. We'll be back again tomorrow with the Kids vs. Adult Weekly News Quiz. In the meantime, get out there and have a most excellent day. Over and out.